I'm Laura Vitale. On this episode of Laura in the Kitchen, I'm going to show you how to make crispy chicken with delicious spring braised vegetables. It's easy, it's relatively healthy, it's kind of quick and easy to make, and I guarantee it's going to be your next go-to one-pot wonder for the spring season. Let me take you over the ingredients so you can get started. You're going to need some bone-in, skin-on chicken thighs, an array of beautiful spring vegetables. I'm using some fresh asparagus, some beautiful baby zucchini, some carrots that I've peeled, some shallots, mushrooms, peas, chicken stock, white wine, lemon, some fresh dill, fresh parsley, a little bit of butter, a little bit of flour, salt and pepper, and olive oil. So, let me start. Where do we start here? Well, I got a big pot here with a few tablespoons of olive oil, and I'm bringing that up to a nice high heat because I want to be able to get a good crust on the chicken itself. So, what this dish is basically, it's exactly what it sounds like. We're going to have the crispy chicken sitting on top of this delicious braised vegetables. It's delicious. Who said that anything braised or stewed or anything like that has to be just for winter and fall? Not me. So if you can't find this baby zucchini, just use regular zucchini and just cut it up. It's that simple. I'm using shallots because they have a much milder taste to an onion. I don't want that pungent onion flavor, but if you've got onions on hand, use those. This kind of recipe is just for you to use whatever you've got. So now that we have that hot, I'm going to season my chicken. Skin side up, I'm going to just season it with salt and pepper. That looks good. So now that my oil is nice and hot, I'm going to put them skin side down in there. I'm going to try to see if I can get them all to fit. Should be able to. Season up the other side. And you're going to let those cook for about 10 minutes on each side. You want them to be fully cooked through. And then we'll take them out and I'll show you what to do next. My chicken's been cooking on a medium-high for about 5 minutes on each side, about 5 to 7 minutes. It's not cooked all the way through, but that's fine. I'm putting it on this baking sheet that's been lined with aluminum foil, and these are going to go into a 400-degree oven to finish cooking all the way through, about 10 to 15 minutes, and that'll give me just enough time to make the rest of the dish. So, I'm going to pop these in. To the same skillet, I'm adding in pretty much all my veggies. And I'm going to just season them with some salt and pepper. Give this a toss. And you're going to let these cook for about 7 to 10 minutes or until they develop a good amount of color and then begin to cook down. My veggies are looking great. They've cooked down, but they still have crunch, which is exactly what I want. Don't be intimidated or frightened by all the brown bits that's going on. That is tremendous flavor. And you don't want to get rid of that because that's going to just penetrate your dish and just make it that much more delicious. So now to this, I'm going to add in a little bit of butter and just a little bit of flour. And this is it's not going to make so much of a gravy, but it is going to thicken up the sauce so that it's going to make the veggies they're going to be coated in this thick lemony wine sauce. It's just fantastic. Got a tablespoon of flour and just the same ratio. 1 tablespoon of flour, 1 tablespoon of butter, and I always use unsalted because I feel like salted butter is way too salted, and I don't like not having control of how much salt goes into my food. Personally, that's just how I roll. To this, we're going to add in some white wine. If you don't use white wine, just substitute a little more chicken stock. But I tell you, this really does something to the dish where it makes it sort of bright and gives it an extra note of flavor that I really, really enjoy. So now, as you can see, with my wooden spoon, I'm just scraping all the brown bits off the bottom. And I'm going to let this reduce for about a minute or so the alcohol cooks out. I'm going to add in our chicken stock. And now this is the heat is on medium, and I'm going to let this cook for 7 to 10 minutes or until it's nice and bubbly, the chicken stock reduces, becomes nice and thick, and then we're going to go down to the final few steps before we get to serve it. My veggies are looking exactly how I want them to. Perfect. I've taken my chicken out of the oven. It's fully cooked through. The skin is super, super crispy, which is exactly how I like it. Now, if you want to cook your chicken right in here, go ahead and do that. But I would suggest taking off the skin because that's going to get soggy. Personally, I like the crispy chicken versus like with the sweet sort of braised vegetables. I think it's a killer combination. So this, now we're gonna add our finishing touches. If you can find fresh baby peas, shell them and add them to this. I have gone to 3 different kinds of supermarket and I can't find them. So I'm resorting to just using some frozen peas that I've defrosted. And I'm putting these right in. They're sweet, they're delicious. And now we're gonna make this super aromatic with some freshly chopped dill, parsley. Dill is great with this dish, and some lemon zest. Gonna really bring this home and make it super refreshing and smells great. And doesn't make it somehow it doesn't make it seem like it's this heavy dish, which it really isn't. It's just tons and tons of vegetables with 1 piece chicken. So that looks fantastic. And since the peas are already cooked and defrosted, you're just warming them through. You can smell all the fresh herbs and the lemon. I'm just turning this off because this is perfect for me. Now we're going to get to plating this. Let me move this out of the way. And here's how I like to plate this. Take a ladleful of your delicious veggies and all that juice, just like so. I don't like that, so we're going to clean that up. Take a piece of your crispy chicken. This is the best. It's just amazing. Set it right over the top. And then, optional, I think important, just a slight little light squeeze of fresh lemon juice. So now we're going to cut right in. You hear how crispy the skin is? Look at that. It's cooked perfectly. Take a piece of that with the juice, with the sauce and the asparagus. If I can get it on my fork. Switch hand. Oops. We're going to give this a bite. Yeah. Hot. Delicious. You can make this for 2, you can make this for 10. It doesn't take that much time to put together. It's delicious, and you really can have, a soup or a stew in the spring and summer. Just use ingredients that are available. It will become so much better. It is so delicious, and I guarantee it, nobody is going to think it's spring and I'm getting braised vegetables. They're going to be like, that is awesome, because it is. To get this recipe and others, go to www.laurainthekitchen.com. I hope you've enjoyed hanging out with me in the kitchen, and I'm going to see you next time. Bye-bye.